to happen, we need to change our orientation, we need to change land ownership law. We've been talking about land ownership from the one. If we don't change land ownership law, it will be very difficult to still power commercial agriculture. You know, that is the only way they can succeed. The government doesn't give the land for commercial agriculture, you can't do it anywhere in the country. And this is affecting our members very seriously, even for expansion. The Mortar land was a good one for our members last year. So land needs to be revisited beyond the land ownership issue and the law relating to lands in Nigeria. We need to establish a land bank that is a model from different parts of the world that have succeeded in not just powering agriculture but also powering real estate.
What has been taking us back generally as a people is patriotism. Whether it is bank, whether it is industry, whether it is we as a people, whether you are government or you are in the private sector. And we need to understand one thing. No matter how much government invests, it can never be enough. Everywhere, all over the world, globally, you know, what drives the economy is private sector. And at best, we came up with the model of the public-private partnership as a way of trying to mobilize resources, you know, from those areas where the resources are needed, you know, to where you have surplus resources. Those people that keep the resources in this country are supposed to be custodian of the cash, which is the banks. And when you look at the policies of the bank over the years, you know, in the 60s and the 70s, when we have the marketing board, yes, you can say banks are structured to support even medium and long-term lending into agriculture. But with the oil coming into place, the attention of the financial institutions have shifted towards oil. All of these have implications in terms of what comes out of research. And how these research findings then permeate through to the farmers. And without technologies, we cannot do so much. And again, it speaks to the issue that when we are talking about research, even the research findings that have been done, the technologies that have been available, we are talking when the BATF was talking about, you know, their, you know, support to the vegetable farmers. He was talking about drip irrigation, was talking about sprinkler irrigation. These are technologies that have been with us for as close as 50 to 100 years. Even with that, what have we done with it? You know, done with it in the sense that even when you move around the major vegetable producing area, you find these technologies abound. So it's not because the technology is not available. Again, it is patriotism. Because why do you produce when the market is not secure? We would rather, you know, emphasize bringing in, you know, milk concentrates, powder milk concentrates, and mixing here just adding water to it. And we have our pickles, where you have people producing fresh milk, and you will not patronize them, which is the patriotism that we're talking about. The banks will not lend to banks to agriculture because they fear they don't want to waste their money. You know, but if there is no longer oil to finance, then we wonder what we do with the money. The same thing, you know, research to be tailored towards our needs. What are the needs? First, agriculture is bedrock. For a nation that is still developing like ours, we need to be doing more than 10 times what we are doing to agriculture. And you see, all over the world, of course, government need to do so much. You go to Israel, you have institute and universities dedicated to agricultural research. The good thing during the regime before the Obasanjo regime, where the federal universities, you know, for the first time having federal university of agriculture and agriculture and federal university of community, you know, which is specifically targeted at addressing the agricultural needs and taking agriculture to the next stage. Then you have the institutes, various institutes, you know. But what you find this research, you know, you find them on the shelf rather than on the farmers. Who is going to take the research findings from the shelf to the market? It is the industry, it is the private sector, it is the people. So it is for you to go to what we call the field and say, okay, what are the research, you know, results that you've got? We have them. Even when you go to the mechanization in Kwara, you know, that is starting with, you know, coming up with, you know, agricultural machines. They have a lot of pilot projects in there. But it is for the private sector to take it from that shelf and then those pilot phases and then turn them into a commercial product. So again, it is the patriotism that we are talking about. And beyond all of this, you know, there's what we call the global agricultural practices. Of course, for you to access the market, you need to meet with the market requirements and standards. Again, the private sector needs to come in here and educate the farmers and say that, yes, if I need rice, for instance, this is the certification in terms of the rice that we need. And then again, we need to come up with what we call the local food content. Local food content bill, which we are trying to work around in Lagos State, is that Lagos State, as we know, represent almost 60% of the commerce in this country. 99.9% of foreign direct investment in the first and second quarter into Nigeria came to Lagos. So what simply that one speaks to is that we come up with a bill that compares particularly the hotels and restaurants, because you will not go to hotels and restaurants in America and so on and find a bar or a mall or whatever in their menu, no matter the quality. You begin to specify and say that in your that you need to have a certain percentage, these are policy issues, but this policy has to be embraced by the private sector. And when we begin to have that, it is that kind of policy that will compare people like what we call it, ShopRite, and saying that, yes, fine, the market is in here. You only came here because you have fine markets, and if you find market, then a certain percentage of our products must be patronized by the local farmers. So what we are saying in essence is that fine research is very important, is key, because research is what is going to drive productivity. Productivity again is what it tells you in terms of land intensification, getting the maximum out of the minimum land that you put into use. But again, if they produce all of this and there is no market, the obstacles to take it. And it speaks to the other issues that we've been talking about. As a nation, as a country, beyond research, what do we need to emphasize? That is what we call the value chain, development. We have what we call the GVC, the global value chain, development. We need to accept it and adopt it as an agenda. If you take a single product, even cassava, as small as it is a multi-billion industry. The research is there. Of course, we can do cassava chips, but can we produce it at a competitive price? Those are the issues. So who's going to drive this process? The private sector needs to come in, work in partnership with the government, and then the citizen must demonstrate patriotism that made in Nigeria product should be what you should look at first. Even all of these foods that we are putting, they are products of cotton. Even the lint market alone in China, provides job for nearly over 1 billion people. So we need to again begin to look at beyond just research, because it's all about talk. We meet, we'll talk and so on, but it is about do. And do have to start by patriotism. Thank you.
In the time of the marketing board, not only will the marketing boards mop up what is produced, marketing boards also ensure that farmers get the planting material and input. When Nigeria was #1 producer of palm produce in the world, supplying the world with palm oil, it was smallholder based. When Nigeria was exporting cocoa and dominating cocoa market after Ghana, it was smallholder based. When we had the granite pyramid, it was smallholder based. Okay? We are not saying that you should not do large-scale operation. We cannot be doing the same thing the same way as we were doing 50 years ago. But the fact that we have on the ground, according to statistics that we have, is that more than 80% of our population still reside in the rural areas. What is the role of federal government? What is the role of state? What is the role of local government? For me, at the grassroots and where smallholders are for food security in Nigeria, I will hold the local government chairman accountable. Thank you.
When we are talking about Nigeria, talking about standards, talking about export, we have in the Nigeria-Vietnam Chamber of Commerce, we have a policy directed mainly at taking up Nigerian products. We call it Made in Nigeria Export. For every year, twice a year, in April and in December, we go to international forum, trade fairs in Vietnam, to showcase Nigerian made items. And I must tell you, turnout usually is fine, but the issue has always been that of quality. Nigeria today is one of the largest exporters of cashew nuts to Vietnam. In fact, Vietnam is Nigeria's largest importer of cooked cashew nuts. Vietnam also buys other things from Nigeria, agricultural items. But the problem that is always constantly before us as the Chamber of Commerce is that of maintaining the quality that is required. He has mentioned palm oil. By the time you look at that, the reason that Nigeria is still lagging behind in that aspect is because of the quality. And I'm using this opportunity as the president of the Nigeria-Vietnam Chamber of Commerce to appeal to the people who are responsible for standards control to look critically at how to benefit Nigeria further in the area of quality measures.
I want lending to be extended to the agribusiness sector. The banks would not want to give any farmer money if he does not present a well-articulated, business plan that would attract them. You see, these bankers are wonderful people. They are like prostitutes. If you have the money, they come to you. Okay? Package yourself. 70% of my farmers have not been able to get loans because they are not attractive for my banker friends to give them loans. The condition precedents are down to difficult. Therefore, they are not getting loans. Okay? You need to package yourself. So what we need to get the banks to do is sit down with these banks. Most bankers, but there is a farmer, we understand some. But a lot of bankers don't understand this thing about financial products that would make farming, go on. So we need to get the bankers, sit down with them, to get them to package streamlined products, right, that will finance agribusiness. Okay? When they do this, and the templates are created across the banks, when you go as a farmer, when you go as an agribusiness person, they will just look at the templates. If you qualify, they give you your loan. Okay? But I must tell you, farmers have difficulties in accessing credit. And one thing we need to do differently as Nigerian farmers and Nigerian agribusinesses is to do a repackaging. Before you don't rush to go to anybody, please package yourself. Be able to tell what will be the input, the output. What profit are you going to make on that particular transaction? And no matter how long term your package is, try to reduce it to what is bearable. The bank